Very good evening, friends. Meeting again in the section of Materia Medica with a new remedy. We're going to learn a very important remedy in our homeopathic practice, that is the Conium Maculatum. A wonderful remedy proved by Dr. Samuel Hahnemann. Common name is poison hemlock, and it is from umbelliferi.
Sure.
Basically, this remedy is a very deep acting remedy from the psychosyphilitic miasm. And there are many cases which I can show you, I can share with you. I think it will require 2 days or 3 days to discuss the Conium Maculatum. So I think daily one case we can discuss. Today, I will going to share my experience with Conium Maculatum in the year 2009. One of my students called me early in the morning. Sir, I want your help. I said, what is the problem? Sir, my father is admitted in so and so hospital since last 1 month. He is on ventilator and he is not coming out, and he is diagnosed by the physician as a case of Guillain-Barré syndrome. So, patient is on ventilator. It was a foolish question to ask him to bring the patient over here. So I asked whether you have taken the permission of your physician to consult the homeopath. Yes, sir. Yes, he told me that you better consult with Dr. Prasad Rasal, and then we'll decide how to go ahead. So he said, when you will be ready to come. I said, in the afternoon I'll be there. And I went in that hospital, and patient was on ventilator. His eyes were open. He was not unconscious. He was conscious. But the ventilator is applied over there. Only the eyes are looking, the face little bit open, but eyes were showing something. Eyes were absolutely, the face and eyes showing the morose state, the sad state, depressed state. Because of long-standing admission. Nearly about 1 month before he was admitted in the hospital, my student, he told the history that, sir, nearly about 40 days back, he started getting some vertigo. He started walking in a difficult way. We never understood. His age was nearly about 60. So we never understood what is wrong with him. So we have done I have shown the patient to the same physician. He said it might be because of congestion to the brain. So he asked to go for MRI. We have done the MRI, found to be normal, nothing abnormal. And then he has prescribed certain medicines, the tablet Vertin and Neurobion Port. And we have started with that. But his vertigo was not settled. In fact, day by day, he was getting more difficulty in walking. His gait was so hampered, one day he fell down. So we brought him directly to the hospital, and when he examined that both lower extremities were not able to, he was not able to lift. And he was admitted. There was no history of fever, nothing was there, and all of a sudden this has happened. And gradually, he started losing the total strength in both lower extremities and gradually in upper extremities also. Then doctor said it is definitely a Guillain-Barré syndrome. They diagnosed it with the Guillain-Barré syndrome, and he was better for nearly about 3-4 days. And doctor said, we'll start all those medications and he might settle and you can go home after a week. But doctor, actually what happened after admission, after starting these medicines, gradually his power to inspire has also lost and he was put on ventilator. Doctor said there is no other alternative unless and until we keep him on ventilator, he will not going to survive. He will going to die. And this was very typical right from lower extremity. It was going ascending up and producing such a severe grave condition. So when I looked, this history was very important, essential for me. It is one important thing which I was observing is the sad, depressed, morose face with eyes in such a difficult condition, and patient is not able to move at all, not at all. I talked with doctor, discussed with doctor, and he said, this is the line of treatment. We have to wait and watch. Guillain-Barré syndrome, we don't have specific medicine. We give the symptomatic. Considering neuropathy, we used to give the B1, B6, B12. There are some Ayurvedic tablets which we used to use through the RT, that is pulsineuron. But since 1 month, there is no improvement. So this fellow asked me that, shall we take the homeopathy? And I suggested your name. What's your opinion? I said, there are many medicines, but considering this patient, I will go with one remedy. I have considered the first morose look, the second, the depressed, sad face, the eyes looking depressed. Third important thing for me is the ascending paralysis, which was gradually developed. Very gradually developed paralysis, ascending paralysis. Number 4 for me was the ataxic gait or difficult gait, which was earlier to this. So I have considered directly a remedy, Conium Maculatum. There is one more remedy which was in my mind is Vipera, which is also having the ascending paralysis. But Vipera has very typical features of vascular origin. There is phlebitis. There is always a edema in lower extremities. If the patient hangs down the limbs, there is always a severe edema and pains which develops over there in Vipera. It's snake poison. But here the condition is not like that. It is typical ascending paralysis which has hampered the respiration. I was knowing the first sentence of Boric where he has mentioned ascending paralysis leading towards the respiratory failure, leading towards the death is first sentence mentioned by Boric in his Matter. So I was knowing that Conium Maculatum, I have written when I have read the remedy when I was in second or third year, I have written over there Guillain-Barré syndrome. And this is Guillain-Barré syndrome, ascending paralysis, very difficult. So I have started Conium Maculatum, LM11 directly. I wanted result more at the neurological level and repetition also needed. That's why LM potency I have chosen. And I have started giving it in liquid form through the Riles tube, nearly about 4 times a day. And to my surprise, the Conium worked beautifully. Within first 2-3 days, the respiration has become normal. Respirator ventilator was removed by doctor, and he was maintaining the saturation even after removing the ventilator. They used to check, but previously, whenever they removes, it used to produce immediately fall in SpO2. But after starting Conium, it worked beautifully, and basically his respiration improved. No fall in the SpO2. Then after within a few days, 3-4 days, he started moving hands. Then gradually, after a week, he started moving his lower extremities. He was able to bring them to the tummy. And steady improvement from above downwards had happened with that fellow. It was very wonderful and magical case for me. Doctor, even physician also told me it is wonderful. We have not expected that homeopathy works in at such a pathological case, but it has worked and it has worth proof. So this is very important remedy, specifically in ascending paralysis, where respiration can enter into the respiratory failure. Think about the first Conium Maculatum, very important remedy. So this case taught me a lot the role of homeopathy in such a grave condition. And there are many more cases. I have case of uh, breast cancer, very hard tumor, very hard, like a gut ball. And that was interesting case to share with you. Tomorrow I will going to share that case with you. There are many more. Prostatic hypertrophy. Many cases were treated by Conium Maculatum. So it is a wonderful remedy which acts on the glandular system more marked. And specifically in old maids, this remedy plays very vital role. That's why it is also called as geriatric remedy. Geriatric, very important role in the old person. So we'll go with the Allen's keynotes. We'll learn some aspects of it in today's session and some aspects of it too in tomorrow's session. So we'll open your Allen's keynotes, the Conium Maculatum, poison hemlock, umbelliferi. Dr. Samuel Hahnemann was the prover. This is called as the balm of Gilead for diseases of old maids and women during and after climacteric. This is very important remedy in old person. It is a wonderful remedy. It is whether it is neurological problem, whether it is paralysis, which is gradually developing paralysis, whether there is any development of a heart tumor inside the body. So this is a very good remedy even in case of males as well as in case of females. In case of males, it is more of prostatic hypertrophy, which you used to get more commonly with Conium Maculatum in old maids, old persons, and in females, specifically during and after climacteric when uterine fibroids develop or breast fibroadenomas develop. Sometimes breast cancer develops, a very hard tumor like a calcarea fluor, which is characteristic of this Conium also. So this is a wonderful remedy in both males as well as females, specifically on glandular system. Especially for diseases of old men, old maids, old bachelors. Old bachelors, that is very important word which one has to take into consideration. Old bachelors means those who have not married. Elements from celibacy, that is the rubric in your repertory, and you'll get the Conium Maculatum. I don't know whether it is in Kent's repertory, but I think it might be. Celibacy elements from, and only remedy mentioned over there, Conium. And Conium is a wonderful remedy. I will going to share that case with you. Very interesting case of uterine fibroid in one Sadhvi. I will going to share that case, which I have treated with Conium Maculatum. So you have to understand all those things in the case. So this is very specific action in having very specific action in old persons with rigid muscular fiber. They are quite good with health. Fibers are quite rigid. Persons with light hair who are easily excited. The hairs are very light. These are the persons who are gets easily excited, reacts very fast. It is not a remedy which will going to show a calcarea like constitution, slowness. No, these are the persons who gets excited very easily. Strong persons of sedentary habits. Very important thing that sedentary habits like Naxvamika, but Naxvamika is rather different, very acute and very ambitious. Coniums are not like that. But Coniums also have same sedentary life they used to live. They don't want to go for very much exercise. So Conium, you can find, see, first two paragraphs gives you certain idea in your mind that this remedy is a wonderful remedy for old persons, whether male or female. It is very good remedy which acts on glandular system, producing hypertrophy. It is a very good remedy for those who have rigid muscular fibers, and a light hairs. Debility of old people. Debility, the exhaustion, the weakness, gradually developing weakness in old person. Person become day by day more and more debilitated. It looks like a acid debility. But in acid, it used to happen that um, debility, which you can very easily observe. Patient doesn't have a strength to do anything. Here, this debility is very gradually developing debility, generally because of loss of neuromuscular power in Conium Maculatum. Debility of old people, complaints caused by a blow or fall. That is very, very important modality of Conium. The one important thing which is mentioned in many mathematicas, that wherever they get the blows or injury, they get a tumor over there, sometimes even cancerous growths. So cancerous growths or tumors because of trauma, Conium is number one remedy. Very essential modality, causative modality in Conium Maculatum, elements from blows or injury. So complaints caused by blow or fall, cancerous or scrofulous persons with enlarged glands. See, cancer, miasm is cancer, psychosyphility, cancerous and scrofulous persons. Scrofulous persons means where glandular affections are more marked. So cancerous and scrofulous persons with enlarged glands. So glands are enlarged. It might be thyroid, might be breast, it might be prostate, it might be a tonsil, but more commonly it is more common is the breast and prostate. In case of females, breast. In case of um, males, it is prostate. In case of females, it is generally breast, very commonly enlarged. And it is not just enlarged. It is the enlargement is up to the level of as if a big tumor. It is a hard ball-like tumor. That is a very typical word which is used in mathematical. The tumor is very hard in consistency. I have seen a case of CA breast where the tumor was absolutely gut ball. I will show the futures, the picture over there in tomorrow's session. No inclination. Cancerous and scrofulous persons with enlarged glands, rigid fiber. The fibers are rigid. That no inclination for business or study. Totally indifferent. Never wants to study. Aversion to mental work. They don't want to go for anything special. They never likes to work. Aversion to work. Aversion to do mental work. That is very characteristic with this. And they never want to even go for business. Indolent. Indolent means lazy. This is again one important feature. These are lazy person. Psychotic miasm makes the patient more lazy, more indolent, indifferent, not having interest in anything. Nothing. They don't want to do anything. That is very typical with again Conan. Takes no interest in anything. They never want to do any specific thing, any specific function. If you ask them, can you come for this function? No, there is no interest. I don't interest. I don't have interest. They never comes anywhere. They never goes anywhere. They never wants to do anything. That is very typical with this Conium Maculatum. Loss of interest in many things. So total indifference, which you used to commonly get, like a sepia lady. But sepia, there is a reason. In sepia, there is a big reason of disappointment in life. There is a problem, more depression, sadness in the life, which has led the sepia. She has to take the things against her mind. That's why sepia becomes indifferent. Sepia becomes indifferent because of overexertion, the irritability which is developed because of overexertion. Then sepia becomes indifferent. Conium, it is rather a constitution itself making them more and more dull. Memory is weak. They forget many things. It is wonderful remedy in old people who used to have very weak memory. They forget names, they forget the talk. Even unable to sustain any mental effort. They cannot carry the mental efforts. Never wants to do. That's why they avoid even business worries. Then they never likes to go for business because they worries a lot. They consider it's a stress. They never wants to study because they consider it's stress. So this is again a good remedy for the students who doesn't have interest in studying and they feels it is a botheration. Conium is a very important remedy. So memory is weak, unable to sustain any mental effort. Morose. Morose is the state thin. You can watch it on face. The patient is depressed. Absolutely, you can catch that face. Morose. Dukki kashti. Easily vexed. Easily gets into a tremendous anger. Vexed. Santa. Tremendous anger. Domineering. He's quite domineering person. Quite dictatorial person. He considers that things should go happen with his own mind. Quarrelsome. So, egoistic person always wants to quarrel. Scolds. Who used to scold the others? Because things are not going according to his wishes. See, this aspect, if you will understand, then you will create one picture in your mind how the Conium is there. Because generally we fix certain entities with the Conium and we get fixed with those only. So this is the state which is very nicely explained by the Allen, even not explained properly by the Boric at the mental level. Morose, easily vexed, domineering, quarrelsome, scolds will not bear contradiction like Aurum. They are so dictatorial, they never likes contradiction. Contradiction is intolerant of in Conium. These are the old persons, but never like contradiction. They are very strict looking at that time. Excitement of any kind causes mental depression. Any type of excitement, whether it is good or bad, causes a depression over there. They feel so what is happening. They get excited, disturbed, depressed, and a morose state. Very typical picture of this remedy. We'll finish one more symptom and then we'll stop. Then tomorrow we'll go with the physicals of this remedy. Dreads being alone. 8. Avoids society. They fears to remain alone, but still they never goes into the society, avoids the society. Very typical that each person who fears alone always desires a company. This is common. But here the fear to remain alone at the same time never wants the company. Kali Kab is one remedy where there is a similar type of symptoms. What is that symptom? Company desire for it treats them outrageously. On this rubric, Kalikab was very clearly explained by the Rajan sir in Soul of Remedy. And that is very typical. Kalikab, they requires company, but they never gives a good treatment for the company. Sometimes Kalikab avoids the company. Both things are there. But that avoidance is only because they don't like that. But many times they dreads to be alone. That is very typical with Kalika. Lyco is cowardice. Lyco is originally cowardice. That's why he fears to be alone. That is very typical with the Lyco. They always wants people along with them. They show that they are strong, but internally they are absolutely coward. That is the Lyco. That's why they want the company. So this is very important. These are differences one has to understand properly. Then you can differentiate at this level. So in today's session, we have learned a mental aspect, the constitution of the Conium Maculatum, and a case. Tomorrow, we're going to learn few more cases along with the physical aspect of this remedy. So this is a wonderful remedy from our homeopathic remedica from the psychosyphilitic miasm. few things which are not mentioned in this book, just write on your book that ascending paralysis ending in death by failure of respiration. This is the first sentence given in Borix Remedica. It is very important. So ascending paralysis ending in death by failure of respiration. Second important thing, difficult gait, locomotor ataxia. This is one more important feature one must write over there. Difficult gait, locomotor ataxia. Third important thing, gradually developing paralysis, like Quasticum, slowly developing paralysis. This is also one remedy, gradually developing paralysis. And fourth point you can write on your book is this remedy is from psychosyphilitic miasm or cancer miasm, also called as cancer miasm. So we have finished only one aspect of this remedy in today's session, along with an interesting case of Guillain-Barré syndrome. Tomorrow we'll go ahead with the rest of the things. So thank you being there, attending this session, and we'll meet again tomorrow at the same time. If any query is there, we'll have a chat. Otherwise, we'll conclude. So thank you and good night, everybody. Meet again tomorrow.
Thank you, sir. Good night.